English Emails: A Ton of Importance on Tone by Cameron Camp. Emails, emails, emails. We see them every day. Because advanced technology has given us an opportunity to write and send a message almost instantaneously, emails have replaced the business letter as the main source of communication in business. Firstly, they can be sent right away, and a reaction can be sent as soon as it can be written. Secondly, they can be sent from all kinds of modern devices such as computers, tablets, smartphones, and other portable devices, meaning you don't have to be stuck to a desk to send and receive them. But how do we write emails? Are there still more formal emails than others? Just like the difference between a formal letter and a quick office memo, yes. Let's look at a few ways of how to send emails, but it all starts with tone. Before we begin, what the heck is tone anyway? Well, according to the textbook website Boundless.com, tone is defined as the author's attitude or emotion towards the subject and the reader. So tone can include such things as purpose of communication, or why you're writing the email, the intended audience, or who you're sending the email to, a message to that audience, what you're sending to them, and finally actions that the audience should take. In other words, what should they do about it? Alone. A few examples of how one can be addressed are here. Notice how with a more full name and a greeting, it's a little more formal, with nicknames, very informal, and with no greeting at all, more abrupt, demanding, and possibly rude. Although they convey the same message, the tones for each immediately tell the reader about the sender's relationship with the intended audience. Punctuation's also a good indicator of tone. When it is correct, the tone is more formal and suited for business. Or, if it's incorrect, this also tells the viewer several things. For instance, a message in all caps is viewed the same way as someone shouting. If you have lots of question marks and exclamation points, this is a very strong stress on the message, sometimes viewed as a bit harsh. When the addition of emojis and text talk appear, as well as a complete lack of capital letters, periods, or commas, the message becomes very informal and makes the sender look less knowledgeable. The length of a message also tells the viewer if the email is more or less formal. The shorter the message, the less formal it becomes, and vice versa. Closing salutations also let the viewer in on tone and formality. Regards, or sincerely, are more formal and polite. Thank you is a little less polite, but it's still okay for a peer. Thanks is good for a friend or a quick message to a peer. And no salutation at all is an informal, impolite, and perhaps a rushed way of doing things. Finally, we have the name and the title at the end. Having one is good to send to a boss or a client or a potential employer even. An example I once had was this. Notice how you have the full name first, the title, and the place of the business. This one's exceptionally formal, and I might send this to a higher up, but not really to a colleague or somebody on my team I work with every day. A first name can work well, but only if you know the person. Keep in mind it is for informal purposes when you use just the first name. So, we know what to look for in tone. Let's take a look at an actual business email to see if the tone for each part is correct, and if not, how to fix them for the intended audience. Take a look at this example. As you can see, there are several errors here, a few of which may occur more than once. Give you about 10 seconds. Try to find what errors you see, and I'll point out a couple I caught right away. That immediately sends the right, or in this case the wrong message, is the email address. If, like this John Jones, you were a professional business advertiser, having an email address like Sexy Beast isn't exactly the best way to advertise yourself. One way you can make this more appropriate is maybe to use a first initial and a last name rather than a Gmail or Yahoo account, you can also use a business email account. So a better example might have been something like jjones@abcsales.com. Punctuation in capital letters, which is something I study a lot. Straight from the subject line, notice how first the text is in all caps, coming off as shouting and annoying. The 3 exclamation points don't exactly help matters either, adding to the perceived tone that someone is shouting in your ear. Finally, the misuse of the word here should be HERE, and BTW, or by the way, shortening, portray an informal tone where a more formal one is required. Lengthening these to full word form is essential when sending an email to a prospective employer. Why this is all important? It's pretty simple. Professionalism. Firstly, to others, you are a representative of your business or employer, whoever they are, and first impressions can either make them look good or bad to others. Of course, it's equally important to know that you also represent yourself. To make yourself look good, it's vital to appear intelligent and prepared, whether speaking to or even emailing others. It's also important to know that incorrect use of tone and punctuation may lead to others mistaking your email for spam, scams, Trojan horses, and other potentially damaging malicious software they may receive daily. Getting the right tone reduces this mistake and increases your chances of getting a good response. Thank you for paying attention, and good luck as you write emails to a variety of different peoples.